Hey guys, DJ here, and with the reveal of Kingdom Mirage coming out later this year, I thought this would be a perfect time for me to review Seige Mirage. Now, Seige Mirage has been in the back of my shelf, not really visible for quite some time now, and after this figure was revealed and I put my pre-order down for it, I decided to grab him off the shelf and mess around with him, and I've actually been having quite a bit of fun with this figure. And I would say that this figure is honestly pretty close to great, and if they could just fix the tiny little issues that this figure has with the Kingdom one coming out later this year, I think we will have ourselves our definitive quintessential G1 Mirage. But let's talk about Seige Mirage. Seige Mirage is a very nice depiction of G1 Mirage. I think they got a lot of things right with this, but most of the things that I don't think they did get right with this, I think they get right with the Kingdom one. It does feel like overall the Kingdom one is more G1 accurate, but there's a lot of things about this figure that I really like. Particularly, I love the way that this back part looks, and the whole way this transforms is very good. This guy's transformation in general is very solid overall, and I think the robot mode is just a very nice portrayal of G1 Jazz. He's got all the details you would need, the little panels off of the arms right there. I think the torso piece looks very good, and his head sculpt is wonderful. I always loved the head sculpt on this. Very nice depiction of Mirage overall. And yes, I just think this is overall a very solid figure, and I really can't wait to see where the Kingdom one improves on this one, because I really do think that Kingdom one might end up being the quintessential G1, the micro masterpiece Mirage that I want in my collection to go with all my others. So yeah, really great. And of course, Mirage is a very iconic Transformer character. He was in the original team of Autobots. So yeah, obviously we have to have a good one, and I definitely think at the moment, before the Kingdom one comes out, I could definitely say he is the good one. However, this figure does have one major issue, and that is his legs. His legs are extremely floppy, and while he might not be too difficult to actually get standing up, he really doesn't have all that hard a time standing up. He stands up rather well. It is very, very annoying to play with this guy, especially when you compare him to every other figure from the War for Cybertron trilogy. Case in point, Seige Sideswipe here. Let's have a little shake battle here. Yeah, you see what I'm talking about here? This is just really hard to excuse. These legs are really, really bad. I have not tried to thicken them up at all. I have not seen if I can actually thicken them up with some super glue. I honestly might try it now that I have the Kingdom one coming later this year, because even if it fucks it up, I mean, it's not that big a deal. So I don't know, I might try that after I finish this video. If I try it and it works, I'll make a little I'll put something in at the end of this video showing you guys if I got it working or not. But yes, overall, I think he's a nice Mirage. I think I'm gonna try and bring him back up to the front of my Autobot shelf, because he's really good. And of course, once again, Mirage is a very must-have character for G1 Autobots. He was in the original cast. So yeah, really cool. Now, accessory-wise, I think they really give him good accessories. First off, you get his shoulder cannon, and I'm really happy now. I'm super happy that I actually have the Seige Mirage, because the Kingdom one, from the pictures anyway, the shoulder cannon is only the gray. It doesn't have the black on there. So I'm really happy that I have this one, and I'll be able to give the more accurate, because this is more accurate with the black. I'm happy I'll be able to give this to my to the Kingdom one when it comes out. So yeah, very nice. But I do think they did a good job with the missile launch right there, and that really completes the look overall. I mean, look at that. Oh man, that's so, if you just bring him up like this and then just, yeah, that is, oh my goodness, that's really hard to excuse, man. Those legs are just, that's a bad design right there. But you also get his gun, which I think is really nice as well. And these are the exact same accessories that are going to come with the Kingdom one later in the year. So yeah, but you can of course give him the gun. And overall, I really like the accessories. I think they really knocked most of the things with this figure out of the park. The only issue is just legs. Honestly, if the legs weren't as bad, I might not have even ordered the Kingdom one, even though I do really like the look of the Maximal Grimlock as well. But yeah, had the legs been better on this, I don't know if it would have been worth double dipping on. But with these legs like this, I can only hope that Hasbro will fix that with the Kingdom one. So yes, overall, I really do like this Mirage overall. I'm growing a lot more fond of him as I mess with him. He's very fun. I like the gun. I like the shoulder cannon. I love the head sculpt. I think he's got all the aspects of Mirage. He's a very good Mirage. I like him a lot. For comparison, here he is with the Seige Sideswipe that I just had, and my goodness gracious, that is just, yeah, there you go. There he is with Seige each side swipe so you can see how he scales with another of his fellow Seige Autobots, but here he also is with Earthrise Optimus Prime, so you can see how he scales with his leader right there. So there you go. There are your comparisons. Alrighty, let's transform him. And another thing I have really found I like a lot more than this about this figure, with me messing around with him again recently because of the reveal of the Kingdom one. The transformation is pretty darn fun overall. I feel like before when I had this guy, I feel like I was actually kind of, I turned my light off thinking it might look better, but now it definitely looks better with the lighting here. But I actually think that now that I've started messing with him, I think I've got the transformation down a little bit more, and I actually think it's quite a bit more fun, which is good because the Kingdom one will probably have the exact same transformation, so that'll be nice. But let's get into this. So first thing, of course, we do want to remove his accessories. Oh, one thing I do want to say, actually a couple more things I want to say about this that I almost forgot. Of course, he can take his gun and you can plug it into the port on the back for storage, which is lovely. Always love well thought out weapon storage. And also the missile piece can remove, so if you would prefer to have that look, or you want to use the missile, like if you want to put it like a stand and like do some kind of shot where it's like blasting out, you totally can, which I think is very cool. And I've also found that if you want to store the missile out of it, I found that you can just plug it to this bottom port of the freaking forearm right there, and it kind of just camouflages into the forearm right there. So that's what I've been doing when I've been playing with this guy and I've been taking out the missile, is I just plug it back there because it really just kind of disappears into the forearm, which I think is kind of cool. So yeah, that's another thing I just wanted to show real quick. But now we can get into the transformation. So let's do this. By the way, look at that cool ass scope right there. That's really nice. They really did do a lot of things right with this Mirage figure. So I definitely think that with the improvements that the Kingdom figure will make to this, we will definitely have our quintessential G1 micro masterpiece, G1 Mirage. So let's get into this transformation. Alrighty, finally, after all the yeah, you get what I'm talking about here. Okay. Take the hands and fold them into the forearms on either side, just like so, and then bring them forward on these little forward butterfly joints. You can see they untab from the torso and fold in, and then you're going to fold in the forearms just like that. So you have that going on, and then you're going to rotate them forward just like this. So you have that going on, and now we're going to untab the torso. It's on a double hinge little kind of armature here, and you're going to untab it from the front, and that is going to let you bring it up like that, which is very cool. And then this is honestly probably my favorite part of this transformation. I just love how these wheels just flip out like that. That's really cool, and the way they look in the robot mode, like as I pointed out earlier, just really like the way those work. Very nice, definitely a highlight of the mold. And then you take the head sculpt, and you just want to flip the head sculpt down like that, and finally you're just going to bring those down. Actually, you don't want to tab those in just yet. So there we have that part. Now we're going to do the legs. Now the legs are where I had issues on this guy originally, but messing around with him, I think I've mastered the leg transformation, which seems to be a common thread with DK Guillotine right now, is trying figures that he previously did not like all that much and retrying them and figuring out how to transform their legs properly, and suddenly they become much better in his eyes. So yeah, that's definitely something. But let's do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the feet and we're going to fold them in just like this, and we're going to have that stored against the leg it wants to go, which it's not. There we go. And you can see you want to have it going just like that, just so it kind of perfectly fills in there. And you want to do the same thing on the other side. So bring that in, bring that foot in, and just have that perfectly like that, which is lovely. And you don't want to rotate anything around. That was something I feel like the first time I had this guy and I was messing with him, I feel like I kept trying to overcomplicate it and spin his waist around and shit like that. You don't have to spin anything around. You just gotta transform him. So take this piece, bring this out, and then you want to, because this piece folds in like that, which is just kind of complicated because this piece is gonna come in like that. So you're gonna think you have to rotate everything around, but you really don't. So you're just gonna bring that up like that, fold that up, and bring that in, and then it's going to peg in place right there, and then you're just going to take this piece and flip it out just like this, and then you're going to bring that in. Same thing on the other side here. So I realize you probably had a hard time seeing that. So what you're going to do, take the translucent piece right here, bring that up on the little double hinge there, bring that up, bring down this little silver piece, this little gray piece right there, bring that up, and it's going to connect to the white piece in the front there, and then you're going to bring the gray piece down just like that, and now you can plug them together just like that. They plug into quite a few different clips together just like that. So you have that going on. And now you're going to take those two tabs in the back there, and those are going to slot into two slots in there. By the way, I really like that the Kingdom one isn't going to have clear plastic on the legs. I feel like that will also be a definite upgrade over this one. Although I will say, this clear plastic does not feel like cheap clear plastic. This feels like good clear plastic that will definitely not break. So yeah, I just want to say that. But there we go. And finally, we're just going to connect the arms through at the spoiler here, just like that. And we're going to connect them right there. And then we're just going to bring this down and we're going to peg that in place just like that. And there you have Mirage's Formula 1 race car mode, and I like it. It's really cool. It's like a dragster. I like it a lot. It's definitely Mirage's alt mode. It pulls off the G1 look very nicely, and I like it overall. It does obviously have some Cybertronian qualities to it, like the fact that this is all clear is a little bit distracting, and it does have that kind of Cybertronian tattoos on the side there. Obviously, the Kingdom one is not going to have those, but overall, I think this does very well as a Mirage alt mode. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, I don't really know why this would be on Cybertron, a freaking dragster. Like, this is a really interesting car design, and I just don't feel like it would be on Cybertron, but it is a solid version of the mold. And I mean, Seige was kind of all over the place with the whole Cybertronian vehicles thing. It was very much like half Earth and then half Cybertronian. It was interesting. But overall, I think this is a nice alt mode. So, yeah, really nice. If you really want to store the weapons, you can plug them into the ports on the spoiler. It looks absolutely ridiculous, but you can do it, and they do go in nice and secure. So, you can do that if you want to. Obviously, the weapons are blast effect compatible, so have a blast with that. But, yeah, overall, just a solid version of Mirage's alt mode. You can see it cleans up pretty well, actually. It doesn't really look all that bad from the bottom there. So yeah, overall, a very solid alt mode. And for comparison, here he is with Seige. Sideswipe right here. Yeah, just transform him again. My God, that transformation is so damn fun. I love this figure. But yeah, overall, very, very nice looking Mirage G1 alt mode. I like it. I like it a lot. So, final thoughts on Seige Mirage. I really do think that this figure has the potential, with some improvements that hopefully the Kingdom one will give us, to be the definitive G1 quintessential Mirage figure. I do. I really do think it does. It's overall a very solid figure. It just has those legs are just very difficult to excuse. Had it not had those legs problems, it would basically almost be perfect. So yeah. Overall, this is a near perfect Mirage, but just has just a couple things that just make me say it's not really all that great. So I would say if you don't have this figure, I would say to go ahead and go for the Kingdom one over this one. I feel like that Kingdom one is going to be better if they do the same thing they did with Inferno, with Kingdom Inferno, and they make that plastic more robust and they make the legs better and him not be as floppy. Like Kingdom Inferno definitely improved upon the tolerances of Grapple, who by no means had bad who by no means had bad tolerances, but this guy definitely does. So hopefully that will translate to the Kingdom Mirage, and we will have our definitive G1 quintessential Mirage. So there you have it, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of Seige Mirage in the comment section down below. I feel like I've seen people be very divisive about this figure, be very divided. Some people really love it, some people really hate it, and some people don't really have much to say about it. So yeah, let me know what you think of Seige Mirage in the comments, and let me know if you are excited for Kingdom Mirage coming out later this year, and if you've pre-ordered it. So thank you for watching, everybody, and this is DK Guillotine, signing out. Well, color me surprised. This is DK from the future here, and I actually did, as I said in this video, try and thicken up his Mirage's joints with some super glue, and I've actually done some serious improvements here. You can see the legs are, while still a little floppy, they are substantially better than they were before, and yeah, they actually don't feel all that loose anymore. They're still kind of loose, but way better than they were before, that's for darn sure. And now standing up is really not an issue whatsoever. So yeah, I am still very much looking forward to the Earthrise one to replace this one, because I also think that one looks cooler overall. But if you really want to avoid buying that one and you just like and you want to stick with your Seige one, but you kind of hate the legs, try and thicken them up with some super glue, because I did get some pretty decent results here. So yeah, you can just see I just kind of rub some super glue around in the joint right there. You can kind of see the little bits of it. I'm not trying to invade your privacy here, Mirage. You can see though, a little bit of super glue into those pegs, thicken them up, make sure you move them around so they don't just get like stuck like that permanently. You know, do it how you would usually do it, and you should be good to go there. So yeah, overall a very much improvement over what he was originally. So yeah, there you go. This is the actual ending of the video now for Seige Mirage. Overall, once again, I think he is solid. I like this figure a lot. Yeah, A tier. I think he's really, really good overall.